What is up, guys? This is Nate again with Mud Digger Off-Road. Today we're bringing to you a quick install and how-to video on a 2007 to 2018 and a half Jeep JK or JKU front bumper install, as well as some switchback DRL Rough Country 3.5 series black LED lights. So go ahead and get that Jeep pulled in here. And the first thing we're going to want to do is go ahead and get that hood pop. We are going to need access to the electrical and to the battery under the hood. So go ahead and get that guy opened. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to the front bumper removal. On the front bumper, you're going to have 2 bolts on either side, as well as a couple of bolts up underneath under that plastic skid plate. And then you are going to have a couple of electrical connectors and some black plastic push pins for the factory fogs. Once you get those bolts out, pull that bumper away slightly. It'll reveal the black plastic push pins as well as the electrical connectors. Use a push pin popper or some needle nose if you've got it. You get those guys disconnected, and then you can go ahead and pull that front bumper completely away from the vehicle. Next thing we're going to want to do is pick up the front bumper to go ahead and do a test fit. Just kind of make sure and see where those mounts are going to line up on those frame horns. And once again, this is the Extreme Terrain Barricade tubular front bumper. It's got a 3-inch tube, so you're going to want to make sure that you're getting the correct size tube mounts for the type of light that you're looking to run. So once again, running the Rough Country 3.5 round pods, we're going to be running a 2.5 to 3-inch tube mount. It's going to be universal pretty much across the board for all your cubes, pods, most LED lights. It's going to be universal mounting for. We're going to go ahead and install the new hardware here. We're going to leave everything loose to start out with, just so it can hold the bumper up there. And then we're going to move ahead and kind of snug everything up so we can make our final adjustments, make sure that bumper is sitting straight exactly how we want it to. So once that hardware is on there loosely, you can see you have all of the room to make your adjustments. We're going to want to snug up a couple of these bolts, just so when we make our adjustments, it holds the bumper where it needs to be. And this is with those bolts snugged up. You're going to have those 2 L brackets. We like to put the bolt heads facing outboard and the bolt heads facing forward, if at all possible. Maintains kind of a clean look across the board. And we still have some adjustment there, so we can go ahead and make our final adjustments. Once we make our final adjustments, we're going to go ahead and snug those down. Once again, not going super tight on these because we're still likely going to have to make some final tweaks at the end here. Once that bumper is snugged up, we're going to go ahead and move over to our light and bracket assembly. Go ahead and get everything unboxed here. And for this one, we did have to swap to the larger bolts to go ahead and fit on that 3-inch tube. Go ahead and get one side snugged up. Once you've got that side snug, go ahead and determine which hole you're going to use as far as distance from that bottom tube. Place your light in there and get that snugged on that mount as well. The Rough Country lights do come with these covers, so we go ahead and throw those on there, just kind of keep the lights protected while we're doing our wiring and moving everything around. And since they do come with a pre-wired harness, we're going to want to go ahead and verify which wires control the amber function and which wires control the white LED function. For the ambers, we're going to go ahead and tie into the factory fog harness, for the whites, we're going to go ahead and tie into the factory fog harness. And for the ambers, we're going to go ahead and tie into the daytime running lights of the parking lights, the amber parking lights. Keep in mind, these are LEDs, so there's not going to be much additional draw in the amber setting on the factory parking light harness. And once again, they're LEDs, so it's actually going to be less draw than the factory halogen fog lights. So everything functions on the original controls, no additional switches, no drilling in the dash, nothing crazy like that. We're simply tying into an existing factory harness.